If student enrollment is declining, why does that not reflected in the budget?
I can't speak to this current budget, but if I am elected onto the Board of Education, I will ensure the fact that the budget is going to reflect the student population. We can't continue to raise our budget if our student numbers are going down. So it also, along those lines, I'm not a proponent for cutting the courses and the special factors or the programs that we have set up for the children. So it is something that we're going to need to look at and dive down and figure out exactly what we can cut without hurting the education of the students that we have in the program.
All right, and Ms. Preston?
Yeah, I think definitely when, as I mentioned earlier tonight, we always need to be looking at the budget for efficiencies. And, is what was spoken, the declining enrollment is not just one grade, it's just sporadic students here and there. So it's not as easy to make a cut, say to teachers. But I think one area where we continue to get efficiencies in the budget and identify opportunities is through the shared costs, and that was talked about a lot. Shared costs meaning working with the town to see where we can use other resources, kind of like we've done with our CFO and with Chris Burney. So I think we can look for greater efficiencies in utility costs, transportation, and healthcare costs. So there are other ways to find savings in the budget.
Mr. Hemmerle?
Well, I think I addressed this before. If we lost 80 students next year in the 9th grade, it would be an easy decision. Okay, we could really effectively manage a budget reduction. If we lost 80 students next year, spread across all 12 grades, it doesn't happen that way. I mean, it's just, it physically doesn't happen, and it doesn't give us the reductions we're looking for. When we lose 300 students, yeah, we're going to have opportunities, okay? Hopefully that day will never come. My concern is if we're losing students at the grade level where they would go from here into private school, I want to know why. Why are parents making that decision to take their kids out of our system and put them in a private system, which is going to be much more costly, and still pay their property taxes here in Wilton, yet incur the cost of a private school? Is it something that we're doing that they aren't happy with? I don't know. I think those are the questions we should be asked if we're losing students to private schools. Why is it happening? And have those parents give us guidance. What are we not doing that we should be doing? We are constantly aware of our enrollment projections. To the degree we can, we have projections by grade and are in fact making decisions staffingly driven by those projections. Is not something that we don't pay close attention to, I assure you.
Thank you. Ms. Low?
It's mostly has already been said, but if enrollment is declining at a particular grade level, it is not easy, but it's straightforward to make reductions based on class size guidelines. And if it's spread out through 12 grades, it doesn't work nearly so well. When it comes to staffing overall, we live in times, and we've always lived in these times. No one's ever said, Deb, this is the year where the budget's going to be great, you can do what you want. It's always a tight year, and then of course some are more serious than others, and this is an upcoming one that is more serious. So when you look at initiatives for improve the school that require staffing, those are the ones that are going to come under the most scrutiny as we move forward. Any talk of adding staff in difficult budget times. Not enrollment driven, but program needs. Those are going to have to be carefully looked at. And those are kind of probably going to be our biggest challenges, is when, even though we may need it educationally, when can we afford to add additional staffing to achieve one of our goals? And those are difficult and team decisions.
Thank you. Ms. Jeanes, would you care to rebut? 30 seconds.
No, thank you.
All right. Ms. Preston? Mr. Hemmerle? Okay. And Ms. Low, would you like an additional 30 seconds?
No, thanks.